Picture this. The White House takes a fentanyl trafficker's arrest and turns it into a Studio Ghibli meme and posts it on their official X account. No, this is not a fever dream. This is March 2025 reality. Welcome to Post-Normalcy, where nothing makes sense, everything's a meme, and AI's running the show. This isn't your Grams world anymore, folks. I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your Dumpster Fire. Welcome to Dumpster Fire, where we make burgers out of your sacred cows. We premiere new episodes every Tuesday and Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time. Please join us in the chat. Today we'll unpack the meme madness for you. You're welcome. The political firestorm, the rise of AI memes, and why art snobs like me say it's spitting on Miyazaki's life's work. But before we get into it, some upcoming comedy dates for you guys. I am opening for Colin Quinn May 23rd through the 25th at the Comedy Mothership. There's a link in the description below where you can buy tickets. I have also started my own stand-up show with my friend Ariel Isaac Norman at the Creek in the Cave. The show is called Ask Me Anything. It is every other Thursday. There's a link in the description below where you can buy tickets. The first show is on April 10th at 8 p.m. Join us. It's going to be so much fun. Back to memes. If you haven't heard, because you're a normal person who doesn't live online, the Studio Ghibli meme trend exploded last week thanks to ChatGPT's shiny new image generator, and you probably saw them and just don't know what they were or what they were referring to, although our audience is a bunch of freaking nerds, so you probably did know what it was referring to, and our audience is also too online, so you probably knew also the instance it was making fun of. But most people who don't know anything about any of this are normies. For those of you who don't know, Studio Ghibli is a legendary Japanese animation studio co-founded by Hayao Miyazaki, known for films like Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, and Princess Mononoke. People were turning everything, memes, selfies, even 9/11, into that lush, whimsical Ghibli art style. And then, on March 27th, the White House dropped a Ghiblified arrest scene of an ICE officer hauling off Virginia Basora Gonzalez, a Dominican woman who is crying anime tears while wearing a hairnet.
Why are you wearing the hairnet? You're bald.
And when I first saw this, I was like, oh, wow. Now they're mocking the fact that they're deporting lunch ladies? I literally thought it was a lunch lady and they were just making fun of the fact that they were deporting regular lunch ladies. I was like, that's crass. And that's when I started contemplating, what does Trump have to do to make me regret voting for him? Are lunch ladies my line in the sand? And then I was like, or are we deporting people for being fat now? Because this lady is obese. I was like, oh my gosh, is Make America Healthy Again deporting people? That ICE agent in the meme does look a little bit like RFK Jr. It would bring our health insurance rates down. I don't know if I'm totally against it. Deport the fats, I say. I'm here for it. And then I was like, oh, she's a fentanyl dealer. Well, I'm here for that too. Obviously, the backlash was instantaneous. X lit up with people calling it fascist fan art and a new low, and critics said it trivialized a real person's suffering and clashed with Ghibli's whole vibe. And then you had the other side, Trump fans and edgelords cheering it on like, it's a joke, they said, and like a warning to drug runners because nothing scares drug runners like cartoon memes. Some even called it peak creativity from a White House usually stuck in boring press releases. And if this is peak creativity, well, let the nukes fly. We're done here, folks. It's been a good run. So I was thinking a lot about this because there was like a vibe shift that happened around this. Something changed, and I was thinking a lot about it over the weekend and what it meant. Given that moderate voters are the only voters that matter, I started to wonder if the White House considered how it might look to be gleefully sending a crying lunch lady back to the country of origin that she probably had to escape. But what do I know? I'm only one of those voters.
I'm the asshole in the place, right? I'm the asshole?
God forbid anyone thinks strategically. in this administration? In some ways, maybe it is strategic. It's chum for the culture wars. This automatically just drives everyone into their camps. The left immediately says, this is proof they're Nazis. See how they're dehumanizing people?
Literally Hitler.
And the right says, cry more, lib. This was a fentanyl dealer.
If you don't like America, then you can get out.
Meanwhile, those moderates I mentioned, some of whom had to hold their nose and vote for Trump, might be looking at this image and thinking, wait, do I support this? And also, this looks like my cleaning lady. Normies, you see, don't like being reminded of all the deportations and what's going on, and certainly not in a mocking way. What they would prefer is if you deport all of those undesirables without talking about it all the time. For moderates who see something like this meme, they can't defend it at their dinner parties, and moderates are like groundhogs who see their own shadow every time someone challenges them to defend their positions. They're scared back into their hole. They're too delicate, you see. Our most delicate resource is the moderate voter. We must protect them at all costs. This is why normies hate open kitchens, too. They don't want to see how the food is made. They just want to eat. The truth is we suck, but we don't suck enough that we want to see the fentanyl dealer cry as she suffers consequences for her actions. We want her to suffer those consequences. We just don't want to see it. Do I need to repeat myself? The United States is like the Capitol in the Hunger Games. We don't give a fuck what's happening in District 12, and we don't want to know. But it doesn't matter, because most normies aren't even on X, so they're safe from their shadows for another day. And this whole situation is your culture war trifecta. The left sees dystopia, the right sees genius, and centrists, who knows what they see? They're burying their heads in a hole. It's 2025 in a nutshell. Two ideological groups fighting over an issue that will ultimately be decided by the people in the middle who care the least.
The system works.
I really am curious what my audience thinks about this. I wonder if you guys are on the fence, if you think it was a step too far, do you think it was harmless fun, or just a giant Gen X whatever. I get it, guys. I'm just trying to pay my bills, take care of my aging parents and my toddlers because I had kids too late, and it's chaos. I don't have time to keep up with all this nonsense, and sadly, it's my job. Before our next segment, don't forget to like, subscribe, touch my bells and buttons, and tell your friends about us. You guys have spoken. When we hit 100,000 subscribers, I will do my best Mexican weather report. So please help us get there. If you haven't subscribed, do so now. You have to stick around through the ads to see the weather report, guys. Sorry, them's the rules. Now is the time you should be working on getting into beach body shape, guys. Bring back those 90s standards, just like Gen X. And just like I'm working on getting into Mexican weather report shape, it's quite a workout. Thankfully, I have the Caliber app to help me. Caliber has been life-changing for me and my body. I've wanted to get into weights for a while, and it's so important for women in their 40s to focus on building muscle, maintaining bone density. A woman in my condition needs her workouts and her weights. And weight training can be confusing and overwhelming if you're just trying to figure it out on your own. Caliber makes weight and strength training simple and easy. With the Caliber app, you get paired with a personal trainer who creates a fitness program and nutrition plan completely customized to you and your goals. The app is incredible. It lays out your weight program, gives you step-by-step instructions and even videos on how to correctly perform the moves, allows you to see your gains, increases in strength, reps, and performance. We've arranged a special deal for our Dumpster Fire audience where you get $100 off for the first 3 months. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee if you're not happy with the program. Go to caliberstrong.com/dumpster and take the quiz to get started. That's caliberstrong.com/dumpster for your discount. The link is in the description below. Now let's check the weather with Sol Perez.
Con un cielo completamente despejado, espectacular para aprovechar el día, el domingo, el sábado, al aire libre, hacer esa salida recreativa, a tomar mates al balcón, a la terraza. Yo estoy casi caribeña de tanta terraza, estoy estudiando ya en la terraza, todo.
Thank you, Sol. The Ghibli White House meme debate is an early example of how humans will use AI to do horrible things. In this instance, it was used to desecrate the life's work of Miyazaki, and we are memeing the collapse of society in real time. Miyazaki, Studio Ghibli's mastermind, saw this And back in 2016, he saw an AI generate some creepy blob monster and called it, quote, an insult to life itself, which to be fair, it is if you watch it. It's freaking disturbing.
使って移動してるんですけど、基本通貨とかないし、頭が大事だとかっていう、一応こんなことをやっています。
This is a guy who is so clearly detached from technology. He looks at that and sees it purely for what it is, which is a horrible, grotesque monstrosity. This guy spent 60 years hand-drawing masterpieces like Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro. He poured his soul into every single frame, and now his style's a toy for AI to play with. And fans are rightfully pissed. Miyazaki didn't slave away for decades so the White House could crank out deportation fan art, one ex-user wrote, and they're not entirely wrong. And there's a big question. Did OpenAI train GPT-4o on Ghibli's art without permission? No one's saying yet, but obviously it seems like they did, and if they did, this is a copyright gray zone. And even worse, it feels like artistic theft. Ghibli's art is all about struggle and beauty, and now it's just been turned into like some political jab. Someone on X said, you know, Ghibli's art is like a precious resource, the way that it makes you feel, and we've extracted 99% of that feeling in the first day. Mike Solana from Pirate Wire summed it up perfectly. This specific aesthetic is innately endearing. You can't make me want to see a Ghibli character in pain. This is a new form of bad art. What Mike is saying is so true. He's writing a longer piece about it for Pirate Wire, so please keep an eye out for that. I thought what his whole take on this thread was brilliant. And then I think about how funny it is that somewhere someone made this meme and ChatGPT was telling them, this is a great idea. This is a very brilliant use of this format, because that's all it does. It's literally programmed to flatter us into our own demise.
Wow, it is like we are best friends. Best friends.
Whoa.
Let's cut to the chase. I will suck your dick.
And underneath that meme is a policy on deportation. And this didn't lead to some huge discussion about those policies. It led to outrage about the image, which proves a long-standing theory of mine. Awareness is bullshit and leads to nothing. Everyone could have talked about the policy, but instead they talked about the image, including us, because we don't know shit about policies and we're constantly running from our shadows. You guys, the culture wars are nuts right now. We're beyond simply identifying that. It's the end of something that we all consider normal and the beginning of something else. And we don't know what the new normal will be. We're in between the new normal and the old normal, and the fact that the culture wars are so out of control means it's going to lead to something probably unpleasant, and we don't even have the luxury of knowing what that is. All dystopias are on the table, you name it. We're in the opening montage of the apocalypse movies where they're showing all the news clips of how society fell apart. This is what happens before every great civilization crumbles. But this isn't just about one meme or the collapse of civilization. It's also about what AI means for art. Miyazaki once warned we're nearing the end of times, and if we let machines take over creativity, he might be right. He said he felt like humans were losing confidence in themselves.
地球の最後の日が近いって感じですね。それは人間の方が自信がなくなってくるからです。
Maybe it's time to rewatch Princess Mononoke and remember what real art feels like. Although, I don't even know if I'll feel the same way about it, because now that the memes have gone everywhere, the original medium has been changed. This is the chaos we're living in! And this stupid White House meme is an encapsulation of everything that's happening. It's the tribalism, power, tech, art, all smashing together in this moment. It's the memeing of our lives. And sure, maybe the left can't meme, but the right doesn't know shit about art. They don't get it. They don't appreciate it. All cultures die without it.
Gay!
And it might be a moot point now that AI can train on all of it and replace human creativity without the human struggle, but all great art comes from struggle. And until AI has to get clean from its fentanyl addiction, it doesn't know the meaning of the word struggle. And yeah, these memes are fun. They are fun. It was a fun day on the internet until you realize they might be replacing the slow human magic Ghibli stood for. This is my sacred cow, guys. I'm offended. I am outraged from an artistic perspective because I'm like, you guys don't understand this medium. I don't like it. They misuse the medium.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
You don't get it. You don't understand what Ghibli is. You don't understand the magic he brings. And it would have been funnier if they had been deporting Totoro, for example, or a funny Vance and Trump meme. They could have, why this image? It seems like a missed opportunity to do something fun and funny and smart. And then my counterpoint brain kicks in, and I wonder, did they miss the point, though? Was the opportunity missed? They got liberals on the other side of an 80-20 issue. Now they're forcing them to defend fentanyl dealers. They moved the conversation from the Signal chat, which we covered last week, and the fact that they're still bombing brown people just like Obama did, to a meme. And I'm not going to lie, I want this image on a t-shirt. I'm part of the problem. I never claimed I wasn't crass.
Phetasy News.
Phetasy News. That's a wrap, folks. If you love Dumpster Fire, the best thing you can do is become a paid supporter at Phetasy.com. You get the unedited version of this Dumpster Fire, and we leave a lot of inappropriate, random things on the cutting room floor. You also get access to everything else we're doing, and it's a lot because I'm a psycho who clearly never needed cocaine. Why did I do cocaine? Join us right here on YouTube every Tuesday and Friday night at 8 p.m. Central for a new Dumpster Fire premiere. We will do a live chat, which is always hilarious. And we moved Walk-Ins Welcome off this YouTube channel. Please, everyone, go subscribe. New YouTube channel, Walk-Ins Welcome with Bridget Phetasy. There's a link in the description. Thank you to everyone who helps make Dumpster Fire possible. Thank you to Caliber for sponsoring today's episode. Thank you to our audience, to our subscribers and supporters. We love you. Please support the people who support us. It's the circle of life. And thank you, Maggie.
Thank you, Bridget.
Now to cleanse your palate, the internet is glorious.
Hi, I'm a dancer whose career was derailed by an injury. Welcome to class. When you breathe in, I want you to remember that I'm a white woman with a mood disorder. When you breathe out, I want you to remember that I am unmanageably aroused at all times. Oh! If you really want to be a yogi, remember that you have to commit fraud on your taxes every year. Everything is a deduction. Getting a massage, that's a deduction. Stretching on the beach, that's a deduction. Going on a trip to India to find yourself in an insufferable manner, that's a deduction. And by trip to India, I mean mushroom trip. I'm a silly white lady with an expired passport. A little bit about me, I'm a yogi / actor / model / entrepreneur / life coach / witch / quaternary partner to my polyamorous yoga mentor. He doesn't even know my name. I'm on 40 milligrams of Prozac. This pose can help women get pregnant. I wouldn't know because I'm barren. Why do I teach yoga 7 days a week? Because I have been the victim to several multi-level marketing lotion scams. I'm in a lot of debt. Everyone get into child's pose. This pose really helps me while I'm couch surfing. Not gonna lie, I'm thinking of starting a cult. See you after class if you want to join. Breathe out. Questions about pain in any part of their body, please let me know. The body does keep score, and I should know because I am also a past life regressionist and can tell you how you were murdered in a past life. We can do a session that will be extremely uncomfortable and very expensive. Okay, everybody, thank you.
Remember, life is absurd. Don't take yourself so damn seriously. Take the work seriously. Don't take yourself seriously. This has been your Dumpster Fire. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich!
Woohoo!
And the unicorns dance while the world burns, world burns.